need of a fresh start. I mean, like, who's not, right? There's a lot of stuff that comes at you and you want to start fresh. But there's often things that will hold us from moving into that. But I want to encourage you right now. We feel this is a time when God is speaking very much to that about new beginnings. It actually sets up in time with what is now the 8th biblical month, called Heshbon. Don't worry about that. But 8 is the biblical number around new beginnings. And go into detail on the teaching on that. I won't cover it right now. But the question is, what's holding you back? And most of the reason that we can't get into a new beginning is the fact that we haven't ended something in the past. Specifically, we talked about a spirit of disappointment. Disappointments are things that can anchor us emotionally and spiritually and give us some legal right to the enemy to hold us in the old thing. And we've got to deal with that so we can move forward. We looked at the life of Joseph, who clearly had a lot of places there where there was disappointment, from being his father's favorite son to getting thrown into the pit, to rising up in Potiphar's household and running the household, to getting thrown into the prison, to interpreting the dream successfully for the butler, the presenter, to the Pharaoh, to being forgotten. And so he's got to deal with those things to move forward. But God has to deal with him not just about what's happened, but who caused those things. So he says that God has now caused me to forget, caused me to move away from the memories of those things and from my father's household. So look at the teaching, because there's some specific work that we want you to do. We want you to go and let God take you back to places where you've experienced disappointment. And there's some things that you're going to need to transact before him about what you did, what others did, and get down to brass tacks reality for this reason. We want to learn from those past things, but we cannot let them hold us back from the new start that God wants to move us into. And if we don't get those things dealt with, they will hold us back. They give the enemy right to hold us, to anchor us, to do what we call like a vav, or put a tent peg into the ground to be able to hold us back in there. So be encouraged in that this is a time of new beginnings, but you're going to have to do the work to get into the new thing that God has for you. So the opportune time is now. There's a window, but you have a responsibility. Don't think you're just going to sit back and let this happen. Take it up, watch the teaching, and act it out.
Listen to this. You meant to kill me. She meant to throw me in prison. Da 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 da. But God, boom, boom.